I was never going to be a men's physique.
Didn't have much of an off season.
I like his physique better.
I'm always very energetic. I would have to put me as one of the greatest.
Mr. Olympia was won by the back.
So I was just talking to Breon.
Yeah.
He told me to tell you he's coming for you, man.
I'm sure he is.
So listen, I want to congratulate you on winning the last year's Olympia. That was huge, obviously.
Appreciate it, man.
You know, I wanted to get your kind of thoughts on, you know, and your experience. Tell me about your experience going to that Olympia. And when you went up on that stage, did you feel like you were leading, you were beating him?
Yeah, so how did I feel going on stage last year, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I felt really good going on stage, partly because of, in comparison of the year before, was such a big struggle for me. And getting on stage in 2018, I was stepping on stage feeling like I looked like a much lesser version of myself. So in 2019, not having that feeling, it was just that big contrast of feeling that I felt. It was a lot more confidence I had in me, and I felt I presented that in my posing, how I presented myself on stage. And I found my physique goes a lot with how my mind works. If my mind's at ease and I'm confident, I tend to look better, I'll get leaner, drier, all that kind of stuff. And so leading into my whole prep was a little stressful, but by the end I was feeling just really confident. So getting on stage, I was really excited to kind of display a package which I felt I haven't displayed in the past because my body wasn't at 100%. So that confidence alone of that contrast, like I said, really made me feel just amazing up there.
Mm-hmm. How do you stay calm in a situation like this? Because obviously you're on a big stage and you're going against a dominant champion. Like Breon obviously was considered to be, you know, unbeatable. You know what I mean, by many people. So how do you keep level? How do you keep the nerves down at that moment?
I mean, I've always been less blessed to be a pretty calm person naturally, and that helps a lot. And I was really, the people I surround myself, the way I was raised, it was very much focus on what you can control. And all I can control is myself, my own output, my own work. That's it. And I know if I show up at my best and I ever come at my best, I believe that I could become the best in the world at that. So it wasn't really thinking of Breon being unbeatable. I've never thought of, obviously me being competitive, I've never thought of Breon as being unbeatable, but knowing that like myself, if I control all my own personal variables and do them to the best of my ability, I believe that would come out on top.
Because I talk to a lot of bodybuilders and usually nerves get the best of them. Some of them, you know, they tell me stories how they felt great, they feeling great backstage, and then they go up on there and then just they lose it. You know, actually I think it's like some kind of I forgot the chemical, but it kind of like your body produces it when you're nervous.
Cortisol?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Mm-hmm. And that causes you to just shut down and fall flat. You know.
Yeah, no, that's something where it's all comes down to the individual, and I have some like tactics with myself where it's kind of like a self-talk, almost meditation sense. I don't like using that word because it's not really that, but like whether I put in my music, I block everything out. I'm not really walking around chatting with people like I did when I was younger. Now I'm kind of like headphones in, I'm really focused. I'm envisioning what I'm going to do on stage. I remember all the work I've put in, and knowing that I put in all that work and I didn't skip any steps on the way, I kind of tell myself, what's the point of stressing about anything else you can't control? As I said, everything that is in my control, I controlled. If it's not in my control, there's no point stressing out of it because it has nothing to do with me.
No, that's a great way of looking at it. So when you were competing and when you were up on that stage, you know, going against him, did you feel like you were leading the whole time? So when they announced the winner, like, did you already expect to hear your name?
I honestly, I didn't even think, to be completely honest, which a lot of people have asked me this, and I found it strange afterwards because in the day of, I didn't even really think of whether or not I had beat him. It was always prejudging. It was like, all right, go out there, display your posing like you know you can, be confident, do what you need to do. And then I got off stage, I was like, yeah, you killed it. Get ready for the night show, kill it again there, get ready for your routine. And it was just like one step at a time, focusing on what was in front of me. And I don't think it was until me and Breon were standing there and they were about to call the second place where I'd really sat there and it's been like, holy like we're here now, this is it, like I have my chance of winning. And I always believed in myself that I could win, but until that moment I didn't tell myself I was winning. And I've been pretty hard on myself where I need like the concrete proof and I need to prove it to myself before telling myself something. But I never told myself I was going to lose. never thought I was going to come second, but I never also thought I was going to win necessarily. It was just kind of doing what I could do in the time, focusing on whatever was happening in the moment, and kind of getting to that final point.
What kind of feedback did you get from the fans afterwards? Did you feel like they supported the judge's decision? Did you feel like they thought maybe he won? You know what I mean? What kind of energy did you get after?
It was a little bit of both, of course. I don't think there's ever been a champ who's been uncrowned where everybody's happy, which is just the sport of bodybuilding. It's a subjective sport. It's the way it happens. But I mean, in the nights and the weeks upcoming, I'm not one to go on social media or comments too much. And I found I had a lot of support of my own people. My family was who I surrounded myself with that night. We went on a small crew and we were just all having a good time. So that's really all I focused my energy on, was like the support I was getting. And I knew that some people weren't going to agree with me, and that's totally fair, because like Breon, I will never deny that he has an amazing physique. He deserved to win the last two. So everyone's going to have their own opinion. But I mean, it always goes back and forth a little bit, but I did feel I had a lot of support and I was grateful for it. And any criticism I got, it just more reason for me to work harder next year.